Frank Eberling. Frank is an award-winning Emmy filmmaker. He has just finished his book, which took 31 years to write, more or less. And it's Ensueno, and he is hoping to turn this wonderful book, an outstanding bestseller, Ensueno, into a feature film. So please welcome Frank Eberling.
Morning, everyone. My name is Frank Eberling. I'm a recovering filmmaker. Lady asked me to come and talk to you about my book, Ensueno. There's a cover over there, and tell you a little bit about the plot and also about how this story evolved and how I got interested in novel writing, that sort of thing. The title of the book is Ensueno, and in this context, this Spanish word means illusion. And it's called illusion because the main character, Jimmy, discovers as a 33-year-old man that most of what he has known about his life or heard about his life is not true. He's been lied to all of his life or misled all of his life. So I'm going to go through the step by step. First of all, step one. Step one, I was very fortunate in the fact that I was raised in a family of voracious readers. My parents and grandparents and brother and sister always had a book in their hands. Reading fiction was a way of life in my family. All right, so step two. I grew up in upstate New York, about 30 minutes north of Manhattan, where I received an excellent education, thank goodness. So I was very fortunate in that sense. I came down here after high school graduation, went to the University of Florida, and after spending some time there, I enrolled at Palm Beach Junior College. When I was growing up, my parents were snowbirds. We spent a lot of time in Riviera Beach, and this is a picture of Riviera Beach in 1938. Riviera Beach, for those of you who don't know it, was a little fishing village settled largely by Bahamian immigrants who came over here for the fishing. So what I did, since I couldn't get this off the ground, I continued writing this story. And this inspiration led to the completed novel of Ensueno. I started playing what novelists call the game of what if. What if a writer from the Florida Writers Project, 1937, 1938, actually became a novelist? What if he wrote 40 mysteries in Palm Beach during the 30s and 40s? What if he wrote a story too true to life and angered a wealthy Palm Beach family? What if they killed him and made it look like a suicide? What if the novelist's son grew up believing his father had chosen to leave him by committing suicide? What would that do to a young person? What if the son was duped into marrying into the family of the people who had murdered his father? What if his wife was murdered and it was made to look like a cocaine overdose? And what happens when he finds out the truth about all this? That's basically what Ensueno is all about. Make a long story short, he finds the answer to who murdered his father in 1953. He finds out who murdered his wife in 1986. And he discovers who murdered them in a novel that his father had written 50 years earlier. Now, how does that work? Well, you'll have to read the book. So thank you. Thank you for your interest. Your book reports are due in 2 weeks.